Hello all my friends out there and subscribers, it's Peter back for another video. I'm going to do another album review today. I'm going to go on with another Doors album, and this time the second album. This one album here. Another album from the end of 1967. There we have it. So there are two albums in the 1 year. So two great albums. It is a great album, but I will talk more about that. Great cover. There's the back. Yeah. So there you go. So obviously, the Doors, with the success of the first album, went on to do the second one. Strange Days from 1967. It's got 10 tracks. And I'll just go through them. It's got Strange Days, Your Lost Little Girl, Love Me Two Times, Unhappy Girl, Horse Latitudes, Moonlight Drive, and then if you've got the vinyl, you turn it over. People Are Strange, My Eyes Have Seen You, I Can't See Your Face in My Mind, and When the Music's Over. Now, and again, produced by Paul A. Rothchild, and engineered by Bruce Botnick at Sunset Sound Recorders, Hollywood. There you have it, and there you go. So I'll get into it. The first song is Strange Days. Starts with the keyboard part coming in, and very eerie sounding. And this is one of the great openers of any Doors album, Strange Days. Just a great song. And it rocks along a bit too, and it's got a mysterious feel to it. And in a way, this whole album is probably the darkest Doors album, although they've got darker moments on the debut album. It always felt like it was their darkest album. And so it starts off with Strange Days. One of my favorite openers, and it's a great song. And then it goes to Your Lost Little Girl. This is a beautiful track. I always loved it. The guitar solo by Robbie Krieger is just a beautiful, beautiful guitar solo. You'll know the one I mean, those who have heard the album many times. And a great, Jim's voice suits the song perfectly. So it starts off really well with those two tracks. Now, Love Me Two Times, always loved it. The thing with Love Me Two Times for me is I didn't hear this version first. I heard the one from that album from 1983 they did, not posthumous, but that Bits and Pieces album. They had recordings from TV shows and let's see, live tracks, A Live She Cried. So I heard Love Me Two Times on that first, and I love that version from the Danish, I think it was the late 60s Danish television show. And that's on A Live She Cried. And I prefer that version to this album version, maybe because I heard it first, but I just prefer that version of the song. It's a great song, whichever version you look at, but that's just my personal opinion on that song. And then we go Unhappy Girl. I like it, not as much as the first three, but it's a short, like 2-minute plus song. And it's a nice little track, poppy sort of song, and it's a good inclusion on the album. Then we get Horse Latitudes, which is a minute and a half of Jim doing the poetry thing. It is what it is. Jim always, put poetry in, through the whole career, in life situations, albums, put poetry in there, which is one of his main love, I guess, the poetry. And he always liked to put it into the music, and that is just like spoken word poetry. But it fits on the album okay. Not my favorite thing from the album, it fits in okay. And it goes perfectly into Moonlight Drive, another staple song, another great song. And that's the end of side one. So a pretty strong side if you're talking about the vinyl album. and pretty strong side. And before I go on, I just like to say a lot of people favour this second album over the first album, but for me it's a very close call. One day would be one day would be the other. But yeah, they're both sensational albums. Then we get to People Are Strange. Was a hit for them. Very catchy. Well sung by Jim. Really good Doors song. And then we go to My Eyes Have Seen You. This rocks along in parts of the song. Fairly catchy. I wouldn't say up there with the first few songs on the album, but pretty good track nonetheless. Is My Eyes Have Seen You. And then I Can't See Your Face in My Mind. I particularly like this one. Pretty slow sort of song, but very good song. Good lyrics. A great vocal from Jim again. And really a class song. Really a good song from the album. And finally, When the Music's Over, if I had to pick a favourite, this would probably be it. The 11-minute tour de force, as you could say. Just a sensational track. It's got everything. It's like the end in a way. You could prefer this to the end or the end to this, whatever. But they're both excellent. Yeah, I go back and forth between the two. I like them both, but sometimes I prefer this When the Music's Over, and sometimes I prefer the end. Yeah, great vocals from Jim. Again, the poetry comes into it. A lot of I use a lot of like how you could call accent on the drum. John Densmore, you can feel the drums come in certain parts of the song. He gives the lyrics sort of. He sort of accents the lyrics. You know, Jim might do a bit of poetry, and he'll reply on the drums, so to speak. And a great crescendo at the end of the song. It just finishes great. It's got that big ending. The start of the song is slow. It meanders along, and it just it takes you away in a way. So it's that sort of type of song, and one of their greatest songs for me. It will always be in my top tier of Doors songs, no question. So there you have it, another great album. This is a 5-star album. Whatever you want to call it, 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Yeah, top 3 songs. That's pretty easy for me to decide. Top 3 songs, not in any order, but my favorite is When the Music's Over, and I go Strange Days and Your Lost Little Girl. That would be my top 3. So there you have it. That's the Doors review of Strange Days. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you like my reviews, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well. And if I know an album, if you want me to review, let me know. Of course, if I know the album, I'll review it. And there we have it. 5 stars, of course. 10 out of 10. Strange Days by the Doors. Go listen to it if you haven't heard it, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you like, if you know anything about the Doors, you'll enjoy the album if you haven't heard it. Okay, that's all I have for now. Bye for now. Bye.